Hey y'all, and welcome to the Hillbilly Chicken Ranch. I'm Susan, your hostess. This is a January Pantry Challenge 25. It is a freezer clean out because I have some chicken that needs to be used up that we harvested in 2022. So this is 2025. It needs to come out of the freezer. It is not freezer burnt. It is actually very good looking chicken. What am I going to make? I'm going to make some uh, low carb chicken soup uh, base, and that's what I call it, a base, because it doesn't have the noodles and stuff in it. So I can actually add some cauliflower rice or a keto noodle to this or something like that to make it keto friendly. For 8-pint jars or 4 quarts, you would need 16 cups of chicken stock, 3 cups of diced cooked chicken, 1.5 cups of diced celery, 1.5 cups of carrots diced, 1 cup of diced onions, salt and pepper, and 3 bouillon cubes optional, and I won't be using those. We will be cooking our chicken first, and then we're going to combine all of our ingredients and bring it to a boil over medium heat and let it gently boil for 30 minutes at a reduced heat. I'm going to ladle this into hot quart jars because we want enough soup for my husband and I both. We love soup. And I'm going to leave a 1-inch headspace. For your altitude, you will need to check your altitude. Mine is 10 pounds of pressure. Pints would be processed for 75 minutes, and of course quarts for 90 minutes. Then you will let this zero out on your pressure canner and let it come down naturally. Get your jars out, allow them to sit for 12 to 24 hours on your counter undisturbed, and then you would wash them, check them for seals, and label them and get them into your pantry. So we don't know how many we're going to get. I've actually got quart jars I had to get off my back porch and let them come down to temperature before I could even wash them. So they're sitting in the dishwasher right now, waiting for me to start. And I'm going to tell you exactly how many pounds of chicken I have right here that we harvested ourselves. We grew the chickens and we harvested them. So this is a 4-pound bird. So that one is 4 pounds, 0 ounces. And I did have this out defrosting yesterday and finished it in the refrigerator. This one is 3 pounds and 13 ounces. So that's 7 pounds, 13 ounces. And the smallest chicken I have is 3 pounds, 6 ounces, and that makes a total of 10, 11 pounds, and 3 ounces. So 11 pounds, 3 ounces of chicken, and we're going to get these rinsed off, get them into my big pot here. This big pot. It is a culinary series by Prince House. My daughter gifted this to me, my daughter and son-in-law, and so I pulled it down and I got a great big lid that goes with it. Y'all, I can fit inside the lid. Really and truly. Unbelievable. So everything has been washed, ready to go. I'm just going to get my chicken started. While that is cooking, I am going to go ahead and get my vegetables prepped. Then I will strain my broth, get my chicken cooled enough for me to handle, get it cut up, get it back into the pot, and get my jars hot so that I can can it and have my pressure canner ready to go as well. I forgot to mention, the rule of thumb is if it's hot product going into your jars, the jars need to be hot. Your canner needs to be hot. If it's cold vegetables or whatever going into your jars, it's cold jars, cold product, cold canner. So you don't bust any jars while you're processing them. So I'm going to go ahead and get this started. I'm going to set it for 8 on my electric stove, 2 burners. And I've got 3 whole chickens in this with 2 gallons of water. We're going to go ahead and cover this. And once it comes to a boil, of course, I'm going to lower the temperature and allow it to continue to boil with my lid sit to the side just a little bit like that so that the steam can come off of it. Any extra broth I have left over will be canned as well, and we will discard the skin and the bones. Okay, I have deboned the chicken. I've got some more in my bowl to cut up. It's probably about 8 to 10 cups total of chicken that I got off that, maybe a little more. And I have strained my broth, and I added about a half a stick of butter. I like butter in my chicken broth, and so I am cutting up the chicken, and I'm going to get it into the pot. So I'm just taking it out a little bit at a time and giving it a rough cut. Just don't want to have any big pieces. You want bite-sized pieces. The chicken carcasses can turn into bone broth. You can put it in a slow cooker and let it cook. We have soup, so let me grab my ladle and we will begin filling our jars. And my jars are hot. They came out of the dishwasher. I've been keeping them warm in the dishwasher. And I'm just going to start with just a little bit of product in each one of these jars to get it up to temperature. It's called tempering. And I'm going to fill my jars up with the vegetables and then backfill with the liquid. When you temper your jars, you have less chance of breakage. So the jars are tempered. And we're going to get as many quarts out of this as we possibly can. I probably won't get finished with this tonight or today. So I'd say about 3/4 full with the vegetables, and then we'll backfill it with the liquids. We'll go in and we'll debubble, check our headspace, and it has such a nice, rich looking broth on it already. The vegetables really do add to the flavor. And what I'm going to do is, I'm probably going to be canning until later this evening. I'll probably keep this on low just to keep it warm or hot. And as my jars come out of the canner, I can reload. So they are looking very, very lovely. They'll have a small amount of fat at the top of the jars once they cool. That is perfectly normal. I'm going to check my headspace and wipe the rims of my jars with some 5% vinegar and apply my flats, and then we'll go from there. And don't forget to debubble. They look so pretty in the jars. They really do. I got to take a little bit out of that one, but other than that, they look very, very good. Four fingers to center that on there. One finger to hold that flat down. Drop the band. And because my jars are hot, we're going to use my handy dandy tool. Tighten finger tight. And then they'll go into the canner once the canner is ready. Okay, my canner is a 16-quart Presto canner, and it's holding 7 quarts. 7 quarts out, 5 going in the canner, and this is our supper tonight. Probably another quart and a half there. I think that's a pretty good day's work, don't y'all? This is January Pantry Challenge 25. I did a little freezer clean out with the 3 chickens. I have made soup that is pantry stable for our shelves, and they are also low carb. So I can just add a low carb vegetable to this and call it a meal. And my husband can add the noodles that he likes. Thank you, my friends, for watching, and may you be fully blessed.